Hello guys, yesterday I had a quite unsuccessful attempt to create a command line scrapper, but that basically revealed the most weird things within the development process I faced. So I faced some sort of really uncomfortable user experience. So I was trying to pass the configuration as the string in JSON format as the command line argument, and that was really kind of weird approach as it turned out. And also regarding some inner architecture, well, it's a bit too loud to say like that, but still some inner architecture of that program was a bit not really what I wanted it to be. So this time, the last attempt was actually yesterday evening after the day of work, and I was completely exhausted. I had no that much of desire to do that, and I was really tired. But today I decided to start this in the very morning, so I hope that at the end of this video we'll end up with a little command line scraping tool that would allow to scrape simple sites. And well, so let's jump in basically. And so the first thing we want to do is actually to import some libraries, and I just start with prettifying my code from the very beginning here. So I say the libraries, and here we will need to import a bunch of stuff. So the first is the requests, then this from BS4, which stands for Beautiful Soup 4. We need to import Beautiful Soup. Also we want to import JSON and the CSV module to just to make to be able to store the results into the CSV file. Well, maybe something else, not sure, but we'll see that. Okay. And also, so what's different between the yesterday's unsuccessful attempt is that I decided to create a JSON file with all the settings required for the particular scrapper. So we would be specifying the URL to scrape data from within this JSON data file, configuration file, and also the tags that we want to take from there, and so on. So we would be so the way how we're supposed to run this program would actually be like this. So cls.py is the name of the script itself, and so we would be scraping this site, which is called quotes. So I just want to use this program as follows. So here I say just cls.py and quotes.json, like this. Of course, there is no file quotes.json and nothing happens, so this command line argument has not yet been parsed, but that's how I would like to use this program. So, and as the output I would have the table. I would be referencing the code I've written yesterday, just not to waste your time on me remembering how exactly I'd done some routine stuff. As well as drawing the table. I found a nice module called tabulate, nice package that prints the table into console, which looks really pretty. Yeah. Okay. So and also we want to import the sys module to be able to reference the command line arguments. So if hold on a sec. If sys argv, and this would be So the index of 0 is the script itself, and the index of 1 is the file. Okay, so probably not the if. Let's better wrap this into try catch. So try okay, and if I don't specify this, yeah, and also what I need here, basically to exit, well, I can even not specify that. Okay, and okay. So, okay, it's time basically to create this config file itself. So, just rename this and call it quotes.json. The extension doesn't matter basically, especially if you're on Linux like me. But still, okay. Quotes.json. So this would be the JSON file, and so the very first thing, well, okay, let's just create the very bare bones stuff right now, and I just want to open that file. So we'll open quotes. Okay, no, not the quotes. Okay, so probably not like this, not like this. So file name would be equal to sys argv1, and here with open. So I just passed this file name to the open function here. Okay, and we want to read this as, let's call this config file. And also want to create config file. Probably can't. Okay, this config file here. Let's call it different. So for row in JSON file read config file plus equals row, and I want to print the config file to make sure that it has been loaded correctly. Okay, great. Okay, and I also want to wrap this into the function basically. So the scraper itself, scrape. Okay. So this would be probably the body of the function already. Okay. And file name to be taken as the argument. And here I want basically scrape. It's not good with the file name. Config file would be better name. Hold on a sec. Let me just spend a few seconds just to think how to name these variables in a better way. So I don't like this at the moment, to be honest. This is the file name, but this is the config file basically. And how to call this aggregator? Okay. Well, maybe like make it like this, config file name. Looks a bit weird. Okay, hold on. So this is the file name, right? But I don't like how it looks, like the scrape and the file name. Maybe just config itself. Okay, let's make it config and see how it looks. Yeah, config. Okay. Well, okay, just forget that. So sorry for this inconvenience, but I just want to ask it as the file name, as this actually the file name. Okay. Okay, great. And after, so we want to convert this to JSON format basically. Okay, and also don't forget to comment this code. But first, okay, so config file is equal JSON loads. Config file one row. Okay, and if I just print json dumps with indentation of 2 spaces. Okay, it looks like the same, but it's not the same. Okay, so so here what we do is check the config file availability. I hope I wrote this availability word correctly. Let me just quickly check this out, for this would be a real shame. Availability. Yeah, probably I did spell this wrong. Okay. Sorry guys, this grammar mistakes. Okay, availability like this. Not sure what has changed. Okay. Check the config file availability. Using the program. If no config file provided. Okay, and so this is the scraper. Okay, so the config file. So this is actually a role string configuration. Data raw string format configuration data, and this one dictionary structured configuration data. Open configuration file here. Okay, so what else? So now it's basically time to parse now it's basically time to parse this quotes.json, and if that is malformed for some reason, we're gonna give an exception. But let's just go step by step here. Okay, so here what I want basically, so the first thing is the URL, and the particular URL here would be this one. But you know, like, instead of using just one URL, probably in some cases we would like to use a list of URLs, so he would be able to crawl the URLs. Well, but maybe I'll leave that to the next video if that would ever appear on the channel. So for now, I just make this as the single address, URL address. And also I want the tags, and this would be a list already. So this would be a list of the tags that I'm supposed to scrape from this site. And also output file, let's call this just output. Let's call this quotes.json. .csv. Well, add in the JSON, add in saving the data, add in an ability to store the data in the JSON format instead of CSV is also on the cards basically, so that might be done as well. So here I need to put a comma. Okay. Does it still work? Okay. So, and regarding the particular tag extraction here, I've been doing this already kind of many times, but just to show you one more time. So we have the span tag that has the quote itself, and the class, the CSS class of this is called text. And when we deal with the author, so this this is the small tag and the class of author. So these would be the only kind of columns we're supposed to use in here for now. So yeah, and basically regarding the column names, so it would be also good to specify the column field names within this JSON file as well. For otherwise, it starts to be the real pain basically. So I would specify the columns here, and we want to call them author. No, not like this. It would be a list. So author and quote. So tag span and class text. Class text. And here tag, okay, so probably the first would be the author, so small and author. Okay, so okay, here's our configuration file here. Lots of testing and checkouts might be done here, but let's keep the things simple for now. For example, if the length of the columns is more than the length of the tags, that this would end a complete disaster. It wouldn't just work basically. But nevertheless, we'll just leave this as is for now. So if one day ever this program is about to be developed and maintained further on, which I really basically doubt, well, in that case probably this should have been done, but at the moment I can't see much sense in that. Okay, and again, so lots of things can fail here. The URL can fail. So should I try this in the single try catch try except structure, or maybe I should check them? Well, well, I would probably use, well, maybe for now I won't be using this try except. Well, the Python itself would throw the exceptions. So yeah, before I don't have any kind of tests on this input file, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, so let's keep things as simple as possible. And what would be the limit of this program? So it would stick to this key names, and okay, so now we need to make HTTP get request to fetch text data from URL. So I'll create the HTML variable and assign the value of requests get. And now I need to use this config file. Config file with a key of URL. And I also want to extract the text from this. This is not very safe, but just for, in theory, the response might not contain any text, but we assume that it always does contain some text. And let's just try to print HTML. I wonder what's wrong here. Oh, so this try fails here. Well, so to avoid this behavior, try to see what's wrong here. String indices must be integers. Okay, so oh, yeah. This is the better approach. Okay. I did this get request before. I formulated the config file in the JSON in the Python dictionary form. Okay. And now it's time to parse the content. So content. Well, probably I put this text over here and use the LXML parser. Let's check if this has parsed or not. So pretty fine. Not sure that I spelled prettify correctly. Yeah. Still can't learn how to spell it correctly. Okay, so it now has been parsed. Okay. So now what? And now it's time to look to the tags to extract, right? Okay, guys, just in order to not waste your time, let me just reference the code I've prepared yesterday here. And just hold on a sec, I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. So let me just reference what I've written yesterday evening here. So we need a bunch of. Okay, so here are the selectors. So we need, and then okay. Yeah, guys, I won't be copy pasting this. I just reference this code to remember the order of things that has to be done. So what happens here? We actually we're storing these items with this great data. So let me just better show you this instead of trying to explain. So we need these tags here. Okay. So store the selectors, or how I'm supposed to call that. Store. How do they call it here? Content initialize. Well, okay. Let this be content selectors. So and here we use the config file tags like this. Config file tags, and just to make sure it works, okay, so we got these guys here. And now we'll need to loop over the selectors, and for each selector to actually get the data. Okay. Yes, probably first we need to create variable to store results. Let's call this script item. How do they call this? Oh, cool. I will copy paste the commentaries. Okay, so create item to store extracted data. Okay, now we need to loop over the selectors. Loop over selectors. Okay, so now this square brackets already for we're looping each single item here. Okay, and for each selector we need to populate the item. So item, and the key for this item would probably be the class. So did I use it? Yeah, class, exactly. So what we're doing here, we would be using class? Tag class? Oh, I call this tag. Okay. Well, maybe. Okay, let's call this actually tags. That seems more reasonable. Okay, and actually for tag in tags, right? Naming the variables correctly really helps. Yeah, to be honest. So just to make sure it didn't break anything. Okay. Yes, and here we want to populate this scraped item, and the key would be the tag class, and the value starts a bit more interesting. So here we need to loop over the list returned by the beautiful soup. Find all functions. So here we want, say, for it's basically to extract. We want to extract tags text. So we say tag text for tag in content. Find all, and the most interesting starts here. For yesterday I did a bit of a weird thing. So if you do not specify the class, it actually doesn't work. Well, in my previous project, CodeMonkey Scrape, the visual scraping service there, I don't even remember how I did that, but in that case it actually worked, it seems. Okay, but at least we need tag here, like this, and let's actually print scraped item. Scrape items like this. Okay, so author. Why Einstein goes twice? I'm not sure. Oh, that's because I didn't specify actually the something weird is happening here. Okay. Yes, I did specify the class like this, but this won't work if you do not specify the class at all. How did that in CodeMonkey Scrape? Just hold on a sec. Just use the CSS is the same as class. But this did work. Kind of fun. Oh, probably, or maybe not. I'm not sure. Okay, stuck again here. Okay, just for now, I would leave this as beautiful soup library asks us to do this. So just specify the class explicitly. What? What's wrong with this syntax? Oh. Still a bit confused. Why does he? Is Einstein being quoted twice? Oh, okay. He was quoted twice here. Okay, thank God. Thank God it's okay. Okay, let's try to bring them a bit more pretty. Okay, so these are lists. Okay. Well, okay. 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 And now a really interesting thing comes onto the stage. Yesterday I spent so many time again to get that. I'm really afraid if I try to do this again I would spend lots of time again. So this part of code, so let me just explain what it does in particular. So we this range is defined by the length of this particular array. So then, I mean that this loop over here, this loop happens the number of times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times. So the length of this array is how many times this loop iterates. And then what we need here, we need to alter the structure. So we need to make a new list, and we want author Albert and Einstein, author J.K. Rowling, author Jane Austen, author Marilyn Monroe, and so on. So instead of one dictionary and the list of items here, we want actually a list, and each item would have the author and the author name respectively, and the same for the quotes. And okay, so maybe I should really try and do this myself. Okay, so let's try for index in range 0. So next iteration. So what I'm doing here is actually I'm picking up the very first element of this dictionary. So I'm picking the author as the very first element, and we assume implicitly that the length of this array and the length of this array are equal. This should have been checked if you're writing real software, but to keep the things simple, I'm not gonna check this now. So, and actually scraped items here. Scraped items. Print. Okay, let's print something just to see how many times it's gonna happen. So hopefully 10 times. Nope. Why not 10? Yeah, just Oh, yeah. So this gives this gives. Actually, what does this give to us? Let's check this out. If I could only remember what it gives to us. So author. Okay, so this gives the very first, and probably this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is the number of letters. Yeah, it's the number of letters. So here we obtain the key name. So instead of the looping over the letters of the key name itself, we actually need to loop over the list elements, items, and use this as as the key selector. Okay. Now it's 10. Okay. Okay. And now we want to loop over the key and the value of scraped items. And here, if we just print value of the given index, it should give what? Invalid syntax. Hey, what's wrong, man? What do you mean the wrong syntax here? Line 52. Oh, in. Of course. It should give the list itself, but it also it gives it gives both. And also let's create a row that would contain that. This is a new dictionary called row that will contain create variable to store result row. I mean, it's the element that would be appended to this one, results array. Okay. And we create the key. We duplicate the key for each element, and the value would be, so probably I would better enclose this to double quotes, value index. I'm not sure if this works, but let's print the row. So it prints the very last one. Okay, and we want the results to append row. Yeah. Okay, Okay, it just gives the very first author. Okay guys, instead of guessing what's going on there, just let me reference my code again. Well, it seems to be just fine, but oh, I had to create the row. Yeah, I've created the row in the wrong place. Yeah. I wanted to group the elements logically, but end up with a completed disaster. Of course, I have to create the row each time here. So let's check this again now. Okay, now it seems to be better, much better. Okay, so let's add some commentaries. So loop over the list of scraped items by tag, and here just create row, maybe not create group. Key and value, root key. Scraped items key and values. Okay. And row, the results list. Okay. Okay. And now what? Now we also want to print. This to console. How do we get this actual response here? So I also need to import the module package called tabulate to create pretty beautiful tables. And just let me see where those tables are. It's not here. So the field names, okay. Okay. So let me just paste this in. So instead of this field names, I would like to use config file columns. Okay, and if I just maximize my window, here we got this little nice table. Okay, so basically this is what I really wanted to have here. It still has kind of lots of issues, but well, at least it is something. Okay, and finally what we want to add more here is to store this output as the CSV table, and just, yeah. You know, I spent lots of time to copy paste this, to grab this from somewhere. So the file name will be equal to output, config file.output, field names, config file, output. Yeah. Let's try to run this again. Not in field names. Okay. That's because it's not a field. What? Load? Oh my god! What a oh no! No! What have I done? Oh, I killed the entire file. Oh, how could I done this? Oh, file name. It's the same file. Oh man, no. Oh my goodness. That's why you shouldn't ever use copy pasting, guys. Okay. Yeah. I don't even remember how I call that. The field names columns. Okay, what have I done? Oh, start again from scratch. Okay, yeah, so weird. Tags. json. Yes, it's out of range because nothing specified in here. Tag small plus author. Okay, Parse, that contains fields, not a field names. Okay. What? Oh my god! Oh no! What? Why this happens, man? I did change the file name. I did change this. What's going wrong? Come on. Oh, okay. I had to save this in the separate file. My god. Oh. So weird. Okay. Okay, let's just take this away. Okay, at least I have my table here. So what I want to do now, so I want to use the config file output and columns. So what's run here? Or what has changed? Well, nothing much. That's okay. Okay. And here the disaster happens, and not sure what's wrong here. It contains fields not in field names. Text. Oh, that's because. That's the pain. So to fix that, here instead of the key, yes, I need to use this one specified. Can I use this navigatable string? Can I do this little trick? And then say config file columns and the key. I'm not sure. Probably doesn't work. So I can't do that. Okay, and what if I just rename them later on? So let me explain what's going on here, guys. So this results list contains the dictionaries called row, this one, and the row itself is a key of as the same as the class. So in our case it's author and text, and if author is the same, then the text and the quote, these are different. So if here I put the text, it actually would work. And yeah, but I wanted to provide some custom, you see it works here, and I just wanted to provide some custom, well, it works. I want to provide some custom column names here, but it fails. I would like to Yeah, that's a bit of a pain. And also, if I do not, if I don't use the class and only the tag name, then it won't really allow me to even store the CSV. So this is really weird. Yeah, it really needs work. Okay, so this would probably be the topic of another video if that would ever to come out. Okay, so probably well, I'll get rid of this for now, and but hold on a sec. When we deal with okay, it still works with the template itself. Still works with the template itself. It's okay when the class is called author tags, but if it's called like some gibberish, it's not really that convenient. With a bunch of letters here, characters, which with no meaningless. Absolutely, that's weird. Okay. Can I alert? Okay, try this little hack here. So print row again. So author. Yes, first try to append. Row. Key like this. Okay, so he doubles this. Okay. So if I loop over colonies or key in company file columns. Maybe use the indexes instead, I'm not sure. Just try to print the key. Should print both. Text author. Text author text. Let's change. Now I need to map these guys. I don't know how to do this. Oh god. You know, I hate when the video gets long and when I stuck along the way. That's the reason why I've deleted the yesterday's video login session. It's probably well, maybe let's just try to. Okay, I just want to stop torturing you guys. So the limitation for this version would be using the column names exactly the same as the classes for this tags, text class, with the CSS selectors. I know this is weird, but well, just for now, yeah. It would take fucking ages for me to write this. I need first to do this myself and then maybe try to share this in the video. I don't really want you to follow this mind-boggling process inside. Okay. Seems like it works. Okay, so maybe just let's just try to test this with some different data. So really lots of improvements here further on to be done, but okay. Let's use the tags. This tag, in this case, I would probably take the very first one, but just to try. Well, let's try to add. Well, adding an EU would go out of screen range. Yeah, he uses only one and goes out of screen range. Yeah, can't do anything to this, so if we just remove at least it seems to work somehow. Not probably the best ever in the world implementation, but so well, he uses only one for this, only the single tag, and that's another issue to consider if I'm ever about to keep developing this program ever. Okay. Okay, so probably I'll stop here. Guys, I want to ask you one little question. So in this video, I just try to show you, just try to share with you the very concept of like kind of configurable scraper like that. So the program that would allow the user to scrape the web without like kind of prior programming knowledge, and the only thing the user needs is to specify this sort of JSON like JSON formatted file here. So we need to specify the URL to scrape data from, and the tags to extract, define the column names. It's really weird for if you use the class as the column names. It probably better done programmatically as it was in my previous version, but okay, forget that. And also specify the output file. So lots of testing along the way can be made just to make sure that the format of this configuration file is fine. Make sure that you can actually scrape this particular address, to make sure that the tags exists and it returns the list with a length greater than 0. So it's not an empty list, but something contains the list containing something at least. So lots of things to be done, and there's the huge field for the improvement in this program. You know, guys, I just wanna tell you one more thing, that you know, like the reason why I'm doing all these videos and like maintaining this channel, it's not really much for well, I really mean to share with you, but I'm not teaching you, and you see that I stuck along the way everywhere, almost on the single line of code. And maybe you can take something from these videos, but the prior purpose of doing this is actually it's some kind of self-research. It's my this is my self-research where I try to discover who I am and like kind of trying to find my path. Well, you know, like when you deal with the paid jobs, especially when we talk about the hourly paid jobs at Upwork, you don't need to suffer from all of these issues, like how to grade this stuff, how to grade that one, how to implement that. When you're working on a paid job, you get a task. So your client tells you, like, I want this to be implemented exactly this way, or your tech lead tells you, I need you to write this damn unit tests over here. I need the project structure like as some standard design part involved in there. So that's pretty easy. You're just making what you're told to be done. And in this case, when you're a creator yourself, it's really hard to define how exactly you want to see that. So it's really hard for me to see this from the client or from the user perspective, but basically. So I'm really suffering from the need to take the decisions on how to implement this particular issues, like how to solve this particular issues, how to implement all this stuff correctly. So what's the end result. You know, like as the creator, you always have to be sure about what kind of the end result are you supposed to get. And you know, like the end result for me within every single video I make is actually to discover something new about myself. So that's the point. That's the result for me. And you know, like in the previous videos, I really did achieve that result. So I felt like, okay, so I've discovered something about my own. So what I can do better or worse, so what I can't do, where I stuck, and so on. But in this particular case, I feel a bit confused because, you know, like the idea itself seems to be really interesting, but you know, I'm not sure whether I should continue this or maybe just leave this as is. So no, you know, I'm trying to find my own style of making programming videos. Like I tried the silent coding. I also tried to explain things. Well, in this particular session, I probably did both. Well, but you know, I still, you know, like I really want to understand for myself how am I supposed to proceed if I have a should actually, if I have to proceed with this. If you guys interested, well, so I would really appreciate if you write the commentaries below this video on your thoughts regarding this topic. So let's divide the commentaries into several parts. So the first part I'd like really to get the feedback from you for is regarding the idea behind this little program. So if you're a command line junkie like me, if you like this pretty tables rendered to the console, if you like the idea of JSON format configuration file to feed the script to get things scraped, if you like the idea, if you really want to develop this further on, or if you want me to keep developing this, making it more like maybe not production ready, but at least somewhere closer to that, then please write this in the commentaries. And the other branch of the commentaries, the other things, I would appreciate you so much if you tell me. I ask those of you who did watch more than one of my videos, basically, who kind of saw how I actually grow within this stuff. So which format do you prefer best? So what style of video do you prefer? So do you like the silent coding, or do you like me explaining, or maybe something else, maybe some ideas to come up with? I don't know. And also regarding the video content, so for some reason I'm covering web scraping topics that were one of my early paid jobs at Upwork. So I really did some scraping. Now I switched to web development basically, but I really did start with web scraping. So that's something I deal with in my everyday work. But this is not basically a limit. So you know, like if you have seen the early videos in this channel, you saw some chess engines, like brainfuck interpreters, like whatever. So really wide range of topics was covered there. So what do you think, guys, regarding this project, regarding my style of making programming videos, and regarding the possible content for the videos in future? Please leave your feedback. I'm really tempted to read the commentaries. I usually never ask my viewers to like the video, subscribe. That's on your own. I can't ask you for that, but I don't need just many subscribers. I'm not making money on YouTube. I'm making money on Upwork. So what I really want to hear from you is the feedback. So guys, please help me to research my own self, and take care.